Steve, Howard, and Dan all on Molokai for Sunrise on the Road. Good morning, guys.
Wait a minute.
Morning.
On the road!
On the road!
On a horse! Let me just say, there's nothing like the smell of a wet horse in the morning.
Yeah, that's right. We're fixing to broadcast live from Molokai Ranch all morning.
That's right. We got a lot of stuff going on. We got a rancher's breakfast. We got a keiki rodeo. Riot Day Helms coming in. It's going to be a blast. And yes, Dan on a horse.
It might happen. We hope you
I'm
join us throughout the
scared.
morning, live from Molokai Ranch's Sunrise is on the road!
On the ranch.
On the ranch, on a horse.
Good morning. I am Grace Lee, dry in the studio. And the boys of Sunrise, not looking quite as dry on Molokai. How's it going out there?
It's good. It's a little chilly.
it's a little
it's
wet.
a blessing from above. That's basically what
We
we
can
got.
see our breath.
Yeah.
That doesn't
Really?
happen very often in Hawaii. Yeah,
No.
it's a little cool.
Yeah. So they
Is it-
set up the tents.
This is a beautiful island, even in the rain, so we're just
Aw.
getting blessed, that's all.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to be doing a lot today.
You know, the coolest thing are the people. I mean, everywhere we've gone,
Yes.
the people of Molokai have been so wonderful, so welcoming, and we're looking forward to featuring many of them on our show this morning.
Hey,
But
real quick,
Yeah,
I
sure.
don't know if they can see behind us. Rex Kamakana and his boys, Boo Boo, Kainoa, and Lane, they're going to be doing a little keiki radio first. And you're getting on a horse.
I'm going to get on a horse, but Boo Boo in particular we want to mention because he just this past weekend won the state championships in high school rodeo. So we'll talk more about exactly what events he did and the incredible talent that you're going to see on the horse out there in the Uncle Jimmy Duvichel arena here at Molokai
And
Ranch.
throughout the morning, we're going to show you all parts of Molokai and kind of great things to do when you finally get to the Friendly Isle, like you've been saying you were going to do.
How's it going?
You know,
That's right.
it's so hard doing these on-the-road things because you got to kind of encompass the entire island, and you can only have to do it in a couple of days.
Yeah, and Molokai is an island with a lot of great stories. About 6,000 people live here. It's very rural. It's got a way of life that everybody in the rest of the state envies and is supportive of attempts to save. And we're going to be looking at a lot of different aspects of that. And we'll also do some touristy things, too, like that nighttime buying bread out the door sort of thing.
Which Dan had to do last
Oh
night.
man. I didn't realize there were all these. There was a strawberry cream cheese, fresh baked bread that came cinnamon with.
cream cheese
Oh
butter.
my! Yeah, Kanamitsu Bakery. They handed out the back door in an alley, and it's nothing like it. It's
Yeah.
delicious.
We
Back?
talked to so many people who said that I've always wanted to go to Molokai, but I just haven't done it.
Yeah.
So we just drove all over the island to show you what you've been missing.
That's right. A lot of local people, by the way, still have not come here, so you need to go and do that. We also drove all over, went down into Kalaupapa, talked to the people there. They're still trying to figure out how they're going to get this memorial set up and kind of get a timeline set. So we're going to be doing that in the next hour, showing you the struggles with the people down there. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
And you were our tour guide.
Yeah, here's the first one. This is the west side of Molokai. You're looking at the upper left-hand corner of the map, and in back of me is Oahu, and down in that direction is the other end of 3 straight miles of pristine beach. Sometimes there's nobody here, and the reason is it's not a very populous island, but also it can be very windy on the west side, and if you're not wearing glasses, the sand can get in your eyes. The west side of Molokai, a beautiful pristine beach that even many people in Hawaii don't know about. It's sunrise. So Molokai has a fragile economy. It has higher unemployment than the other islands. It has a very powerful barter economy. And when people want to pursue their passions, they found small businesses, some of which are really unique.
Now, Dan mentioned this, and I think we all agree. The only thing more beautiful than the island itself is the people.
Right.
And this is a story that completely embodies that.
Yeah, taking care of each other. Jennifer Robbins was here last week to take a look. We want to introduce you now.
It is not unusual on the Friendly Isle to be greeted with a smile.
Come on down. You want some coffee?
When the town store is closed at Molokai Ranch, aunties bring the kitchen outside.
And he was looking for coffee. So I said, you know what? I'll be right back. There you go.
You won't find it anyplace else, anywhere nowadays.
These aunties spread aloha at another level. They are inspired by one lady who they say has a contagious giving spirit.
Auntie Jan, I love her dearly. She's a blessed lady. She would give her a shirt and everything else off her back.
When the ranch started to shut down and jobs were cut, Auntie Jan felt there was a calling to give to the community. So she opened a thrift store with no price tags.
Okay, gang, what can I do for you folks? What are you actually looking for?
Auntie Jan and her family collect and sort donations, from household items to books,
These are novels, and those are children's books underneath there.
to furniture and clothing.
Why don't you get your shirt size right here?
And for those who cannot afford it, it's on the house.
It's called Janet's House of Blessing, Auntie Jan's House of Blessing, and it's not a store. It's just a place where people come, drop and take, drop and take. You take as many as you want if you need it. And if they want to give something, right here. They can, they don't have to.
But what's inside doesn't mean much. She says her faith is priceless.
Whether it's full or empty, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Because you know why? I have total faith that God has never abandoned me.
The third week of every month, she receives donations from the Maui Food Bank, and she puts together care packages for the whole island.
What you need?
At times, people aren't looking for any items. They're looking for someone to talk to.
Sometimes it's prayers too, you know, and it's just there's always a need, some kind of need, and my doors are open to that.
Some call Auntie Jan the Mother Teresa of the Friendly Isle.
I feel really proud that somebody from my family helps others in need.
It brings tears to my eyes to talk about her, because that's the kind of lady she is.
Everyone here has a special story to tell about Auntie Jan.
It takes a community to raise a child. It takes a whole island, not just a community. And it starts from you here, one. I live to give.
Reporting from Mauna Loa, Jennifer Robbins, Hawaii News Now.
Wow, thanks, Dan. You're great.
Yeah, that's a nice report. We need more people like that across the state.
Hey, you're going to get on a horse.
I'm going to get on a horse.
We have the Rancher's Breakfast coming up.
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to tell you more about nice, pretty places that you can go to when you finally get around to visiting the Friendly Isle.
And Moana's Hula Hala coming up in just a bit.
We seem to be taking on a scolding tone.
Do you hear that, Greg?
All right? Okay.
I know. I also like the casual look you guys are sporting today, and Dan's cowboy hat.
Well, it's a ranch.
Yeah, I know. I like it. I like it.
Welcome back to Molokai. I'm here with Moana's Hula Hala. These beautiful ladies are also beautiful. They're talented. They're a little cold, but that's okay. We're going to get through that. Raymond Hero here to talk about the halau and the founder herself, Auntie Moana. Very talented. She learned from some of the best.
Yes, she did. She learned from Auntie Harriet from Molokai. Also, she learned from, she got oniki'd by Uncle George Naope from the island of Hawaii, and also Edith Kanakaole. Yeah, so she's been around for nearly 50 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're carrying on that legacy, and so you know, Auntie Moana's been impacting our lives. So we carry on that legacy, and we're hoping to get to the Mayor Monarch in 2015.
Sounds good.
Yeah, she's been there 11 years, and she waited 8 years, and took a break, and so probably get back there in 2015.
Okay, well, we'd like to see what the halau can do. Okay. What are we going to hear right now?
We're going to do a song that was actually composed by Auntie Edith Kanakaole. The song is entitled Ka'uluwehi o Kikai.
Take it away, guys.
Okay.
Hey, good morning. So all through the morning, we're going to be answering your questions about Molokai. We know these are your questions because we talked to a lot of people who always wanted to go and hadn't gone. For example, what about the coffee on Molokai? Well, I'm drinking some right now, and it's really excellent, and it's actually getting better by the year as the people who grow it get better at growing it. I think that's going to be a real up-and-coming brand, and later on we'll talk to one of the owners about that. We get a lot of questions about the airport here. Is it true that it's very small? Yes.
Incredibly small.
It's so small that some of the gates are actual, gates. And the baggage claim area is basically a guy handing you your suitcase. So, yeah, it's very small, and it's not unusual for somebody who's renting you a car to just leave the car in the parking lot and say, look for this one.
Mm-hmm. And one of the attractions out here on Molokai is the small peninsula on the northern part of the island known as Kalaupapa. 8,000 patients from Hansen's disease lived there, were trapped there, imprisoned there pretty much their entire lives. The danger, though, is it's gorgeous. You go down there, you see the ocean, you see the sea cliffs, the tallest sea cliffs in the nation, and you automatically just fall in love. Now, the people down there, Ka'ohana o Kalaupapa, they have a warning about that.
They were lonely, they were afraid. So these views, they represented great loneliness and separation from their families. So that's what, when people get off the plane and they look around and they go, wow, I'm in paradise. It's like it wasn't paradise to the people who were sent here.
Right, and she went on to say, the people that got there and were imprisoned there, they didn't come out and say, wow, I have a great view. It's definitely worth the trek down over there, whether go by donkey, you fly in. It's a lot of history, a dark history, but one that you definitely need to take note of.
And we'll have a lot more on that later as we continue with more Sunrise from Molokai.
Yep, we're riding in the arena, the Uncle Jimmy Duvachel Arena here at Molokai Ranch, and next to me, to my left, is a pretty talented rider, roper, all-around cowboy. This is Bubu Kamakana, and we want to say congratulations, first of all, Junior Wrangler Championship this past weekend on the Big Island. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you were doing some roping. Tell us some of the other events that you competed in this past weekend.
Shoot dogging, breakaway, ribbon roping, and team roping.
Well, this kid's got a lot of talent. You're going to see some of that here in the arena a little bit later this morning. All right, let's send it back to the studio on Oahu and say good morning once again to Rachel Picaro.
Thanks, Dan. You look like a natural on that horse with your cowboy hat, looking good. 5:47, we just saw Dan on a horse. Steve, Howard, are you guys gonna get on a horse a little later?
No, we're perfectly fine where we are. How you doing, Dan?
Not for us three men on a horse.
I've invited them, Grace. They don't want to get on. I don't understand.
That's his thing.
Yeah. And by the way, Grace, you said how natural he looked and authentic. That's because he was using an authentic cowboy microphone.
Actually,
Hey,
Rachel said that. I would never say something so nice to Dan.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Hey, it's been great fun. If I could just add, to be around real cowboys who do work on a real working ranch, it's been a lot of fun to watch and see these guys and be around them. So good fun.
Those are guys. Guys. Hey, really quickly, we came up yesterday, did a couple of stories, but we also did last week, and I'm one of those local guys that never really came to Molokai because I didn't have a reason to. So I came up, this guy was my tour guide.
I said, you've got to go to the other island, the other side of the island, because the road is so beautiful. And of course, all morning long, you've been seeing shots of it, but now you too are going to get to see the end of the road. Okay, we're farther up the road on the east side now. This is where we came from. You can see how the road's rising as the rocks become craggier and it turns into more of a poly. Now let me show you what's up the road ahead of us.
Molokai, I'm longing for your laughter. I'll gaze upon your silent shores, reminisce the sweet embrace of ginger.
Now we're descending toward Haupu Falls. It's a cold, almost Scottish-like rainforest up here. We're far above the ocean.
Molokai, Molokai, sweet.
Hey, we just got an incredible surprise up here. Look at Haupu Falls. I've never seen so much water in the falls before. There's been a lot of rain lately, and it really changed the look of one of the most scenic waterfalls in the state. My hat's off to whoever built this road. Well, the road's at the end. We have to walk the rest of the way. From down here, we can not only see the big falls, the one that's really rocking right now, but a second one to the left that we couldn't see from before. It's an incredible view, one of the greatest in the whole state.
Molokai, Molokai.
Here's where the path meets its end and where the path meets the sea, just as the water does. I've been gleeful in viewing all this magnificent scenery, but here, where it all comes to an end, it's hard not to feel a little spiritual about it. It's just so beautiful.
I'll gaze upon your silent shores, reminisce the sweet embrace of ginger.
So
you were like a little kid. You were giddy.
Yeah. I really like going back there. And I went back and looked at video from a previous trip where I was actually accompanied by a cameraman. And the water from that falls was so much more than I'd ever seen before. Yeah. And that was really, really very, very nice. And it's something you shouldn't miss when you come to the island. And I'm speaking to locals now. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, when I lived in D.C., there were people who had never been up the Washington Monument because they can always do it tomorrow. Well, there are only so many tomorrows for all of us. So if you haven't been to the Friendly Isle, you should do it.
There you go. Tomorrow is today.
Yes.
Do it now. All right, we're going to check in with Dan Cook, see how he's doing. You
I'm
all right, buddy?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. I was just talking to the Cowboys over here, Keola, Boo Boo you met, Cody, Lane, the guys. They're getting ready to do a little roping demonstration here at Jimmy Duvachel Arena, so stand by. That's coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Let's talk weather. A little wet this morning, a little breezy. It's nice to have those trades back.
Moana's Hula Hala has been around for 50 years, founded by Moana Dudois. They've been all over the world, Japan, New Zealand, Europe, performing. Here they are again, Moana's Hula Hala.
watching Hawaii News Now Sunrise, Hawaii's most watched morning news with Steve Uehara and Grace Lee.
5:59, Sunrise is on the road today. We got Steve, Howard, and Dan on Molokai. And you guys have you went all over the island. You guys have given us a really good perspective of what you can see if you go there.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, it's been as if all the people of Molokai have reached out to help us show all the best pictures, all the best things to see, and then to complicate things, a stranger rode into town forecasting the weather.
And here he is.
Ooh, I know who that is. I know who that is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little different to actually be out in the weather, but that's what the situation we're in here at the beautiful Uncle Jimmy Duvachel Arena at Molokai Ranch. You can see the showers are still falling. They're light. There's nothing really that heavy, but they're going to be off and on throughout the day. That's the forecast for everybody, not just here at Molokai Ranch on the island of Molokai, but Oahu as well. Let's take a look out the door today.
Let's go back to the boys on Molokai. And let me tell you, people in here are already asking if you are bringing us back bread.
Yeah.
Maybe.
All right, all right.
Maybe.
Hey, listen, a more serious topic. You started covering the whole sanctification of Damien, and it got you into covering Kalaupapa, and the deeper you got into it, the more interesting you found it, and so you had to go back.
Right. Actually, I went to Damien High School, so they kind of piqued my interest a long time ago.
Sure.
But this is the 125th year since St. Damien's death, and just this past weekend, the Catholic Church celebrated his feast day. He and St. Marianne, they've been honored for what they've done there, but now the focus kind of needs to shift to the patients of Hansen's disease. They've been working on a memorial, a tribute, for the past 29 years. We got an update.
This is Hawaiian land, you know? And we're on sacred ground.
This is the spot where the memorial will be built. It's on the eastern end of the peninsula known as Kalawao. Boogie Kahilahiva and his fellow patients chose the location, and just this past February, the DLNR approved a 65-year lease for the organization Ka'ohana o Kalaupapa to use this plot of land.
Sometimes when I think about this, I come up here, you know, by myself, I bring my dog, sit down, yeah, contemplate, say a little prayer.
The patients have been talking about a memorial since 1985. Then in 2006, patients and family members signed a petition which was taken to Congress to gain support. In 2009, President Obama signed the law authorizing a memorial which will list the names of every patient who lived in Kalaupapa. It's been 5 years since then, and there is a strong sense of urgency. Of the patients who signed that petition in 2006, half of them have already died. There are still 15 patients that are alive today, but as they themselves like to say, there are 8,000 that are still with us. And this monument is for all of them. Now, 8,000 is the official estimate, and Ka'ohana o Kalaupapa has worked hard to gather as many names as possible, sifting through medical records, marriage certificates, photographs, letters, anything they can get their hands on, and talking to family members. They have more than 7,000 so far, and they're still working.
So by having all of these names on the memorial, people are going to be remembered. They're going to be remembered for the history that they helped to create.
We're trying to do something in perpetuity for generations. You know. I know for me, if I saw all the names before me, I would be, things will come to my eyes, that's for sure.
Obviously, they want this done as soon as possible. They're still working with the DLNR and National Park, so that's what's making things so difficult. But I mean, everything's moved smoothly. It's just there's a lot.
Yeah, and in case it stops moving smoothly, we're going to keep following that for you because we know this is something everybody wants to happen. We'll have more Sunrise coming up.
Welcome back to Molokai on the road here at Uncle Jimmy Duvachel Arena, Molokai Ranch. Well, let's take a look at the weather very quickly. You can see it's raining. We got showers going on off and on. That's going to be the story really for most islands throughout the day today. Off and on showers. All right, the wind's blowing, but we're going to give you a team roping demonstration with some of the guys from Molokai Ranch. This is a working ranch, so what they do in competition is really sharpening their skills for things that they need to be able to do on any working ranch. So let's get going with with our first team roping demonstration. MP and Bula, take it away, guys. Okay, in team roping, you've got a header. You can see Bula got the head, and then MP's got to get the heels, and there you go. That's time. So in local competition, 7 seconds or so is a good time. If you're talking about professional rodeo, I mean, they're really fast. 4 seconds or maybe even better when they're competing in team roping. All right, next up, we've got Keola and Boo Boo, who you met earlier this morning, who just won the Junior Wrangler competition over on the Big Island this past weekend. All right, guys, getting the cow in place, the horned cattle that's here specifically for the roping, and we're ready when you guys are. Here we go. All right. Again, Boo Boo on the right. That's Keola with the head, and we'll see if they can get little. There we go. Keola, one of the working cowboys. MP, as you saw in that earlier. There they go. Good job, guys. Little team roping action here at Jimmy Dubuchel Arena on Molokai Ranch. All right, let's send you back to Oahu and to that commute. Here's Rachel Picaro.
I'm here with Clay Ramboa, who's the CEO of Molokai Ranch. Molokai Ranch is where we are now. And there are always a lot of interesting stories going on at the ranch, but the one that I've been following most closely is this whole idea of getting back into the local beef business.
Yes, thank you, Howard, and welcome to Molokai. Currently, we have about 1,000 head of cattle, primarily Angus. We've started our Wagyu program, and right now we're actively ranching about 5,000 acres, and we have about maybe 30,000 acres left. So we're very excited, and we hope to be in the market this summer.
Now, this is a business that starts slowly as the cattle mature and as you gear up. And you've been looking for small sources, small customers who can buy it to begin with, including some of the Hawaiian regional cuisine restaurants.
That's correct. Right now, we're talking to a manufacturer here, Redondo's, and hopefully we have some of the sausage this morning to share with the community, and hopefully we get to go into some restaurants here in Waikiki, some Iron Chefs.
And these are people who are pretty well known to everybody, and when you call up, they want to know how fast is it going to be, how much is it going to be, how many are there going to be, what other kinds of questions do they have for you?
Well, obviously, it's not just about the beef from Molokai Ranch. We have a story behind Molokai Ranch, the community, the island of Molokai, the people. So it's our hospitality that's hopefully going to come online. So it's not just about the beef for us.
Now, Molokai Ranch employs how many people on this island?
Right now, we have about 19 here on Molokai and then 4 on Oahu.
Previous management sometimes didn't do that last full measure of cooperating with and communicating with local residences. But you grew up in Hawaii. You actually commute between here and Honolulu. I'm sure you were happy not to be in traffic this morning. And so you seem to be going about this in a different way.
Yeah, we understood. We try to learn from the past, engage with the community. The first thing was getting our employees to believe in what we're looking at, and they have. And we use our employees as our disciples to go out there and share. And we've spoken to community members, and we're confident in what we're doing, and we're going to continue to share and involve them in our planning process.
I think everybody's glad to hear that, because this is my experience with any business. The right thing to do always winds up being good for business. There's a cold, hard business reason for doing the right thing. So we'll follow this with great happiness, I hope. And we'll be back with more Sunrise live from Molokai in a moment.
How you doing? Sunrise will continue live from Molokai Ranch in just a few minutes.
All right, the beautiful Raiatea Helm. She's from the island of Molokai and proud papa over there, huh?
Yes, my dad, Zach. I'm so happy to.
Yeah, Uncle Zach. By the way, we were talking NBA playoffs, and who's going to win the championship this year?
Wait, you got to turn it over to him. I'm not.
What do we got?
San Antonio.
San Antonio Spurs. That is a San Antonio Spurs fan. Okay, we can talk NBA all day long, but we're here on Molokai, beautiful island. What makes this island so special, as if we don't know already?
You know, I believe the people make it what it is, and you know we're so close. It's always nice to see everyone when I come home, and you know I'm still the same Molokai girl that everyone remembered me when I was a little kid. So
Yeah.
it's heartwarming, it's humbling, and it's awesome.
And you've represented us very well, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And okay, so you're working on another album as well, right?
Yes, my 5th solo album. Yes, I'm working on that and going back on the road soon.
Okay. So as soon as that drops, you come on Sunrise one more time. And what are we hearing right now today?
We're gonna sing Molokai Nuia Hina because we are on Molokai.
There you go. Raitea hau.
Sunrise is on the road. We got Steve there, we got Howard there, Dan in his cowboy mode on Molokai. I'm concerned, is there enough food for you guys there? It's a small island.
Oh, there's enough food.
Are you sure,
There's
Steve,
food,
for
right,
you?
Sonny?
Plenty food.
Plenty food? Okay, what do we have over here?
We got 100% Molokai grass-fed beef.
Oh.
We're going, Brother Nelson is cooking it up for us, for everybody to enjoy later.
Okay, we also have sausage?
We have deer meat sausage. We have Davis watermelon, local grown, fresh eggs. As you can see, Molokai bread here.
Ooh.
And right across the way, we got Kumu Farms vegetables and fruits.
All locally grown stuff. Good
all,
stuff.
all on Molokai.
Okay, Sonny, we're going to check in with you in a little bit. First, though, Dan Cook on a horse.
Yeah, you guys are under the tent by the warm fire getting ready to have breakfast. I'm out here in the rain. Hey, it's a beautiful day nonetheless on Molokai. Let's take a look at the weather.
Hey, good morning, Grace. We are right here at Molokai Ranch, and I'm here with Walter Riddy, kind of a lifelong gadfly and activist and rabble-rouser here on the Garden Island. You know, it occurs to me that's a job you can't really retire from.
No, and I don't expect to retire from.
And one of the interesting things about Molokai as a small community is that there are all kinds of disagreements, and sometimes heated ones, on what to do to keep the lifestyle, but no one disagrees that it's a good thing to do what it takes to keep the lifestyle.
Yeah, Molokai is in a really great position right now. You know, we're like back in the 50s in Hawaii, where everybody's trying to make decisions about their future.
Mm-hmm.
And we are in a position where we can see what people have done on different islands, what works, what doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And Molokai now, I think, is ready for some offensive economic development. And we can choose right now. We can choose what's good and what's not good by looking at what others have done. So we're in a good position, and we're excited about what's happening with Molokai Ranch. They're ready to go ahead and move forward, and all we got to do is figure out, okay, how are we going to do it, and what can we agree upon, what's good for the island, what's not good for the island.
We were talking earlier about how there's always a wild card when there's an absentee owner, which is the case with Molokai Ranch, but the CEO commutes between Honolulu and Molokai, so every time he gets here, he's got the comparison in his head, just as I do when I come here, and I think it doesn't have to be clogged with traffic and buildings that reach to the sky. There are other ways to live.
Yeah, we're ready to move forward. And Molokai, in order to go forward, we always look back. And when you look back, you know what you can and cannot do. And for Molokai, we're a very traditional island. We're a food-producing island. We're a sustainable island with all those kinds of things. We got fish ponds. We got valleys full of infrastructure that can produce taro and food. We got reefs. We got 14,000 acres of reefs. We're in a position to feed this whole state of Hawaii.
And this is stuff that's nothing new on Molokai, but now the rest of the state and increasingly the rest of the country with the locavore movement are suddenly discovering, like for the first time, that it's helpful and useful and nutritional and good for the soul to do things that way.
Yeah, we're, statewide, we're in a position where we're importing much too much, and we need to be more self-sufficient. And I think Molokai is going to play a big role in that. So we just got to get people to realize the potential of this island, and we're ready to move forward.
Okay, well, another viewpoint of what things are like on Molokai, but as you see, there's a lot of overlap on all the viewpoints because everybody knows that what is here is precious, and something needs to be done to make sure we don't lose it.
Hey, welcome back to Molokai Ranch. We're here at Uncle Jimmy Duvichel Arena, and we're going to show you here in a few minutes more rope and we're going to have Lane Kamakana, 10 years old, show you his stuff here in a few minutes, so stick around for that. Kid's very talented. Let's talk weather, and we'll start with a look at the current temperatures out there.
Coming up, we're going to check back in with the guys on Molokai to see if they're staying out of trouble.
All right, Howard, are you sure this is the spot?
This is it.
Doesn't look like the spot.
It's the darkest alley in Kona Kakai.
And yet?
Something is going on at the back that we were going to shed light on.
Coming up on Sunrise.
Should we head back?
I guess so. Yeah, let's go do that.
All right, the Sunrise Boys are live on Molokai, but don't worry, I got the order from the girls here. Jen wants cinnamon butter. Rachel, you want strawberry. I think that's
cheese.
two orders of strawberry and cream cheese. So you guys got some stuff to do before you come back here. Don't come back without
right now
it.
Okay. Well, let's just explain where we are right now. Okay, we're just a few steps away from the arena itself, and this is kind of a staging area. So all our guests are here this morning. Hey, say hello. They're staying dry. They're staying warm. Dan also wanted to stay dry and warm, so we put him to work.
Got out the work. I'm William's assistant here. I'm waiting for William to give me the cue, and then I'm going to drop in the green. You ready?
I'm ready.
Ready? Okay. All right. Wait, just
Final
some
touches, right?
final touches of this awesome fried rice.
That's Dan Cook, the only apostle of Hawaiian regional cuisine who was never an apostle of Hawaiian regional cuisine.
Did you hear Rachel? She said, "Don't come back without the bread."
She did.
Yeah.
She was pretty forceful
We're not
about that.
kidding.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the bread is part of what we're having this morning, and we went last week. Dan came in last night and he said, we got to do this again.
Yeah, Kanamitsu Bakery, you hear about it all the time, and I have to tell you, and I've been over here many times, I've never been to the nighttime delivery of bread. Blossom and the gang down at Kanamitsu's do a great job, and so last night we got a chance to check it out. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the dark alley. This is the brightly lighted part of the alley in the back.
Much nicer this one.
This is where you go for what happens late at night in Kona Kakai.
Good stuff happens.
Kind of a deal. It's not even illegal. It's hot bread. Hot bread.
I like
it's
hot
what
bread.
we're going to get. Hot bread.
Cinnamon rolls ready to go into the oven. And look who it is. It's Uncle George. George, by the way, George Kanamitsu, the owner of Kanamitsu Bakery. The family's been doing the hot bread thing since 1935. That's when you started to
Yeah, really started, right. The bakery was down Manila camp, the Filipino camp. Then we started to move, my dad then started to move it over here.
So what is the secret to the hot bread?
Well, like, I think you gotta put a lot of love inside here.
Love
That's the one, you know. If you're just gonna make the bread, it's not gonna come out. You gotta get the feel, like this baker here, right?
Yeah.
When you do something, you focus, you get the feel to, to make the bread.
Kiawe wood, that adds to the flavor.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, right. That's the flavor.
And the baking that adds
On the
its flavor.
bacon, right?
You're not giving away the secret, are you?
No. But you're coming, close to it.
Yeah,
See,
I'm trying.
yeah.
I'm trying. But how much bread do you sell on a regular basis?
Regular, yeah. About like 400 or 500 during the day.
Sounds good. Okay, so this is my first time here. What should I try?
You know what?
What's that?
See, you try ask the TJ.
Okay, Howard, what's it gonna be? Strawberry, blueberry, cinnamon, butter, or cream, or the works?
I'm gonna go with cinnamon.
Okay, yeah. I gotta go with the works.
Cinnamon and butter.
Okay, here he is. Here's TJ. What's the most popular bread?
Cinnamon butter cream cheese.
Cinnamon butter cream cheese. All right, here we go, Howard. Here we go. What? Hey! He's supposed to share. And he shared. You shared. That was good. So they had the blueberry, the strawberry, the cinnamon. You had the cinnamon.
I had the strawberry
had
and
the
cream
strawberry.
cheese. And right, Taya says she likes the cinnamon extra cream cheese. So there's, it is awesome,
It is
that bread.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll bring some home.
Yeah.
Last night, driving back to the ranch, I just jokingly said they should put chocolate on it, and it set off this huge argument in the band about what kind of chocolate it should be.
All right. We'll, of course, be bringing some bread back to you, Rachel.
Well, guys, as we get to the end of the show here, on behalf of everybody from the Sunrise crew, we want to thank everybody who lives on Molokai for extending such a welcome to us on our all too brief visit to the Friendly Isle.
There you go. We got one more hour to come, and one more time, Moana's Hula Hala.
Sunrise is on the road on Molokai, and I gotta say, after seeing the dozens of eggs, the pounds of beef, and the fried rice, I'm sensing you guys are a lot happier right now.
Oh, well, we haven't gotten to eat yet, though, so it's kind of a tease.
Although I will tell you that where they are cooking the food is a lot warmer than out here. By the way, this is the Wild West, you know, the far, far, far west. I can prove it.
Yeah.
Just look.
There you go.
Oh, hi.
Howdy.
How are you? How's it going? You see my friend? This is Lane Kamakana. Lane, say hello to everybody up there that's watching on TV. Lane's a very talented roper, and we're going to hear and see from him in just a couple of minutes. So stick around for that. Don't go away. Live for you here in Uncle Jimmy Duvachel's arena at Molokai Ranch. But let's talk about the weather.
Cowboy Dan out there. And Dan, there's some people talking on social media that you're rocking the cowboy hat. Yeah, that's right. Much to my surprise.
You know, here in the arena, there's a lot of great competitions that happen over the years. And actually, throughout Hawaii, there's a thriving cowboy community. Now, they're competing with skills that are very important here at Molokai Ranch, skills that are necessary when you're on a working ranch. Roping, for instance. And we're going to show you young Lane, who we met a moment ago, 10 years old, his skills as he teams up with MP, one of the cowboys here at Molokai Ranch, for a little bit of team roping. Take it away, guys. Okay, that's Lane, closest to the camera. He's the header, so he's got, well, look at that, nice job. He's got the head, now MP's gonna get the heels. And that's what they do in team roping, heads and heels. And once they get them tied up, then time is out. Looks like MP may have missed on the heels, but that would be time and probably not a score because they didn't get both of the ropes on. So we'll try it again. We got Bula and Boo Boo who are going to do a little team roping here. And again, you got one for the head, one for the heels. And these are skills that are necessary in a working ranch in order to be able to find cattle, get them in to take a look at their health. Guys, whenever you're ready, go ahead. Just take off. Okay, you got Bula on the left, Boo Boo on the right. He's going to get the head, get the heels. If you're just joining us when we met Boo Boo earlier, there you go. Nice job, guys. But just came off the rope. But that's team roping with Bula and Boo Boo from right here at Molokai Ranch. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more of our live broadcast here on Molokai in just a couple of minutes. Thanks, guys. Nice job.
Hey, Dan.
You know, Grace, I wanted to let you know, Grace, that this is Missy, but I'm going to trade Missy for Sonny here in just a couple of minutes. So I want to see if we can get Sonny the horse to meet Sonny the dog at some point this morning.
I sense, I have a foreboding sense about that, but maybe one day we can get them to become friends.
Okay. Hey, let's talk about the weather and the showers that we've been experiencing here on Molokai throughout the morning.
I'm here with Raiatea Helm and proud Papa Zachary over here. Now, if you're wondering why Raiatea looks extra beautiful today, it's because...
Well, I'm wearing a family line here called Kalaupapa. You can go on their website, kalaupapa.com. They're all handmade and hand-dyed here on Molokai. So thank you, Ane.
There you go. And they look great. You're going to go on the road, though, for a little bit. You're going to be out in Japan for about a month.
I'm leaving in the beginning of June. I'll be up there for about a month, 19 cities in Japan. Okay. So.
Well, hopefully you're enjoying some time here in Molokai, back at home. Thanks for joining us this morning. We appreciate it, guys. All right, here we go. All right, here we are talking to the pride of Molokai, the Molokai Farmers softball team on my right, the baseball team on the left. Let's introduce you to everyone over here. We're going to start on the end. Braden Willing McCutcheon, David Rapinot, and Coach Mike McCutcheon. On my right, we have Coach Coco Agostiro, Brooke Keli'i Ho'omalu, and Kapua Lee on the end. By the way, both on the opposite ends, the softball team just came back from States, baseball team going to States. Coach, there's a lot of tradition that goes on with Molokai Farmers, and you guys are leaving tomorrow for States. How proud of you are you of what you guys have been able to do so far this season?
Very proud of the team. They've battled through a lot of adversities. We had a very short season. Mentally, we got to prepare a lot tougher because of the game situation. We only had 6 games, a total of 8 during the season. I think we only played 14 games total versus what everybody else got. So I'm so proud of these guys, keeping their mental focus day in, day out, coming to the field, working hard every day.
There you go. Okay, David, what's the mindset going in the States?
Okay, the mindset that we have, nothing really changes. Just do what we did during the season.
Yeah. Good, good. And we're bringing home a state title?
Yep.
Yeah, all right. I'd like to hear that. Okay, Coach, you guys were kind of a surprise this year. It was kind of a shock for you guys, I think, too. You guys won the MIL.
Yeah, we lost our first game starting in the season. We kind of got blown out, but the girls got them same thing like the boys. They got a mindset, our game down, and then we came back up with throughout the season, and we took the MIL champs.
There you go. And Brooke, young team. You're a freshman?
Yeah.
Okay, so you look at and we have Kapua here. She's just a sophomore. How amazing is that next year you guys have your whole crew pretty much back in play?
Very lovely.
Yeah. Are you proud? Are you proud of your team?
Yeah. Being that we're a young team, I'm very proud.
Okay, well, we're proud of you too. Thank you very much for joining us. Molokai softball, Molokai baseball, we're going to be monitoring them. Mike and Mark, of course, going to be reporting from the state tournament that's coming up. Starts tomorrow. We'll be right back. You're watching Sunrise on Hawaii News Now.
Dan, Steve, and Howard on Molokai, and I hear Dan's on his high horse again.
Yes, we've been having trouble.
More than usual. No.
We have trouble getting him off his high horse.
He's been on that high horse all morning long.
We finally gave up and just went and had something to eat. You know, I've never had teriyaki venison before, and it is killer.
Well, you got something to eat.
And
we didn't get anything to eat.
And Kumu Farms has a big setup out there that looks really beautiful. I'm going to talk to them after the show. And also coming up, we're going to talk to Mike Atherton from the local Molokai coffee plantation, because there's so much going on this island, and we want you to know as much as possible about it.
Yes. And Howard got something to eat.
Now who's on his
now
high
who's going?
horse?
I know.
Steve's so upset.
So are we going to go to that varmint over there?
Yeah, I thought we're going to Dan. It says horse weather in our rundown, so I'm thinking that's Dan Cook, right?
Horse weather.
Yeah.
Yeah,
horse
that's
weather.
Weather on horseback. This is Sunny. Remember I promised I was going to introduce you to Sunny?
yeah.
This is Sunny, the horse. Sunny is a quarter horse, a very successful and long-time rodeo competitor. I mean, he does barrels and poles and just about everything you can ask. Anyway, say hello to Sunny. Say hello to Grace. That's Grace, and look in the camera.
Hello.
Right there. All right.
Aloha.
Let's talk weather briefly. It's been a little wet here, but
Sunrise on the road and see what those boys are up to. You guys have been having a really good time, I can tell.
We are. We're meeting a lot of nice people, and you're about to meet one too. Eddie Angst from Kumu Farms, which has a great display just a few steps from here in the food tent. Where is your farm?
Kumu Farm located is across the street from Molokai Airport.
Okay. And based on that display back there, you grow a lot of different kinds of fruits and vegetables, yeah?
Yes, we do. The main bone of Kumu Farm is a non-GMO organic papaya, sunrise, apple banana, and culinary herbs.
Yeah, you're building up an appetite for it now, aren't you?
Yes.
And how long have you been in business?
Well, Kumu Farm been in Molokai since 1981, but the store opened for public in 2009.
Okay, so you're just in time to take advantage of the locavore movement.
Yes, we do. We have fresh, local, and organic farm here in Molokai.
Do you do any shipments to other islands?
Yes, we do. We ship our papaya, our culinary herbs, our kale, beautiful kale, and all produce we have here in Molokai.
And it's Kumu Farms, you know, K-U-M-U. So when you're on Molokai, if you haven't seen it yet in your own supermarket or in a restaurant you go to, you can check it out here and maybe go back to the island you do live on and tell them how good it is. We'll have more Sunrise for you in a moment.
I was going to ask you a question. You just put a big bite of Molokai beef in his mouth. This is Lane. You met him earlier. You did a little roping. Say, just wave to everybody. Wave to Grandma. I know Grandma's watching. Yeah, and he'll be headed off to class here. Mr. Gonzalez and the rest of his class is waiting for him. And this is Grandpa. This is Dennis over here. Thanks for your help today. Appreciate that out there with the horses. Delicious. Got a little Molokai coffee going on. Got the venison, the homegrown beef. You got a little watermelon. It's just a beautiful and delicious breakfast. It's going to be a nice day. We see the sun starting to come out a little bit.
7:48 now, and Howard, I know you were sampling the coffee earlier, and this is what you're going to talk about here. Not a lot of people know that they grow coffee on Molokai, right?
That's right. Well, the main plantation was closed for years during near the bottom of the drought, and then Mike Atherton and his partners came in and bought it and spent a lot of money refurbishing it. Man, you had to plant some new trees, cull out some old ones, put in new fertigation pipes. What else did you do?
Well, the plantation had been pretty much neglected for several years, about 5 years. So we renovated, started in one corner and replaced quite a bit of the irrigation, did all the drip tube, pruned all the trees, repaired all the machinery, repaired the mills, and cleaned the place up, painted all the buildings, and gave it new life.
And some of making coffee good is showing up. If you do it, all your people get better year after year, and Molokai coffees have been tasting better, in my opinion, as the years have gone by. And now you might be heading into a whole golden age if this rain keeps up.
No, we've had the best year so far since I've been here, 14 years in Hawaii. We've had 29 inches in Maui and maybe 35 inches here on Molokai. So the rain really helped a lot, especially after 4 years of drought. And the rain and the reservoir got awful low.
The reservoir is currently at 30 feet. What's the lowest you remember?
About 100 inches, Maria just told me.
So that's what a difference a little rain can make. But you also own a plantation on a mountaintop in Central America.
Yes, that's how I came into the coffee business. Back in 1974, my fraternity brother joined the Peace Corps. I went to visit him and stayed 6 years. And I planted my first coffee tree on El Cerro de Jesus in Nicaragua on the border with Honduras.
And because of the connection, you can buy that coffee here too. You can also buy blends that he makes of the Central American and the Molokai coffee. But the Molokai coffee plantation has stores here on the island when you come and visit the Friendly Isle. One of them's at the airport, yeah?
Yes, we have a store at the airport, and we have a store in Maui at the Maui Tropical Plantation. And we have a store on the plantation in Kalaupapa, and we sell our coffee in all the duty-free stores and all the airports in Hawaii. And we do quite a large internet business. There's quite a few people around the world drink Molokai coffee and buy it on the internet. So it's working pretty good. It's working pretty good, and we're renovating the orchard now. So within a couple years, we'll have all new trees, and we'll go it again.
Another good news story from the island of Molokai. We'll be wrapping up in a moment, but first let's get more. Is it weather on a horse, or have we got Dan someplace else?
Yeah, weather by vegetables and fruits, delicious Kumu Farms items. You were talking to Kumu Farms just a couple of minutes ago. Look at these delicious fruits and vegetables here. You can see the papaya down below as well. It's ripe and ready for eating. So delicious stuff from Kumu Farms to enjoy on this beautiful Monday. The shower activity has eased for the moment. It looks like we're getting a bit of a break, but there's going to be showers off and on throughout the day. You know, when Grace refers to us as the boys of Sunrise, it kind of sounds like a male review. You know, that dance thing.
Yeah, and we're really no good at a kick line.
No. Yeah.
Have you noticed, though, those people in the food court, whenever we try to get a group shot, they all run.
Scramble.
And I went and checked, and not one of them is in the witness protection program. It's just that natural Hawaii kind of shyness about doing what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, Raiate Helms coming up in just a bit. We want to say some thank yous, though. Molokai Ranch, Clay, Raymond, Sonny. We're going to leave a bunch of people out. Dayton.
Yeah, the Cowboys here, MP and Keola, they are just wonderful, and the warmth and hospitality that they've shown us has been very special.
The folks at Kanamitsu Bakery and last night at Paddlers, just everywhere we went, everybody, the girls that made the Mocha Mamas.
Oh, that was good
and
stuff.
I was talking about the Mocha Mamas, but yes, that applies to the girls as well. So
we are coming back one more time at the top of the 8 o'clock, but for right now, Molokai's own Raiatea.
We have Steve, Howard, and Dan on the Molokai today. And all right, you guys have convinced me. I'm ready to go. We're going to meet you there after the show, okay?
Yeah, but then we're going back.
I think that's what she planned.
That's probably it. You did introduce all three of us, but you forgot to introduce Dan's hat.
Yeah, which has a life of its own, by the way.
That's been
Cowboy
Dan. You did great.
Yeah, it was fun. Well, it's just so much fun here, no matter what you're doing or where you are, because the people. I mean, everywhere we've went here on Molokai, everyone's been so gracious and so nice.
Yeah. And the food's been fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
You guys try that venison?
I did, yeah. We had chicken. They had the pulehu venison, and then they had the wok with the teriyaki sauce, which was delicious. It's the axis steer, which is here on the island of Molokai that we were tasting. Then the beef was delicious.
Yes.
The produce.
The bread is always good,
everything's so
right?
fresh and local.
And the coffee.
Yeah.
And the coffee.
So we've kind of eaten our way across Molokai over the last couple of
kind of how it goes, I guess,
Molokai
right?
be any different?
Yeah, that's right.
Otherwise, it's insulting, and we don't want to insult them.
Yeah, delicious. Hey, let's look quickly at the weather.
Eyes on Molokai.
The Boys of Sunrise,
Boys of
the mail
Sunrise.
review, 5 nights a week, now appearing.
No.
The review's bad?
That's why
The Boys
that's why
of
we have the
Sunrise?
cowboy hat.
Thumbs down, thumbs up?
Hey, Grace, so we did a bunch of stuff this weekend. We also have some things that you need to look forward to in the next couple of days.
We didn't get a chance to use everything that we shot here on Molokai today. So over the next few days, we'll be sharing with you. I got a chance to go with Keola and MP, the Cowboys here at Molokai Ranch, on a roundup. We went out of the fields and brought about 200 head of cattle back into the corral.
And Howard and I were standing there, and we saw the cattle disperse, and they're like, "Oh, I don't know what Dan did, but something went wrong."
Well, a little out of practice.
It's been a while, but you did great. We also got to go down to Kalaupapa, and we did a serious story, and we talked about what's going on over there. Paul and I went down, and
hiked down the trail.
I thought it was going to be easier.
I've heard about
the
mule ride. I've heard about it. But you can walk down.
Yeah, you
too.
can walk down.
Uh-huh.
I forgot how steep those steps were, and it had rained the night before, so it was incredibly muddy. 3 miles on the way down.
Wow.
It was quite a trek, and this is kind of the photographer's perspective of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Carrying the gear.
And for purposes of explanation, 3 miles, Waikiki from one end to the other is 1 mile.
And it's steep down, yeah. So we'll share those with you, those stories and more over the next few days once we get back to Oahu.
Yeah, but we do want to say thank you to everybody over here, Molokai Ranch, Moana's, Hula Hala, Raiatea Helm for staying by, and our own crew as well.
That's right. Where did we go yesterday for lunch? Well, do you remember
the cookhouse? The
cookhouse, right? Yeah, no, that was delicious. And we went to Paddlers, as you mentioned last night as well. Everywhere we've gone, it's just been great here on Molokai.
Yeah, great food, good people. So come to Molokai.
What are we going back to Oahu for?
I don't know. Let's just stay here.
Yeah.
So we'll see you tomorrow from the Surly Isle.
Yeah.
The traffic aisle.
Yeah, the traffic aisle.
Yeah.
We'll be back.